Today's topic is stress. I'm sure all of you can relate to the topic, can talk about experiences that you've had, effects that it's had on your body. Some of the main ideas for today is to discuss some different types of stressors, the effects that it has on the body, the fight or flight response, signs of stress, the benefits of stress management, what stress management is, and some types of stress management techniques that you're going to be able to use in your daily life. First of all, what is stress? As you look at your guided notes and fill in the blanks, stress is the response of the body and the mind to particular events. Stressors are events that provoke stress. Some different stressors you might experience. Stressors at school, lots of homework, many tests, deadlines, clubs, other school responsibilities, maybe family responsibilities that you have, sports, problems with your car, it won't start, flat tire, no place to park, the parking meters are all taken. Your money ran out of the parking meter and you just got a ticket. Issues at your job, problems sometimes with boyfriends or girlfriends, etc. As we look at the next slide on the effects of stress or impact of stress, we look at the physical symptoms. Stomach aches. Think about that time when you had that big test and you just had a stomach ache, something in the pit of your stomach. Headaches, sweating, increased heart rate. When we look at the mental, we see the impacts of stress being on poor concentration. It's just really hard to concentrate when you have something else on your mind. You worry a lot, memory problems, crying, showing more emotion than you might normally show, irritable, ready to bite somebody's head off, anxiety and anger are all some of the effects of stress. This slide, the general adaptation slide, talks about the general adaptation syndrome. These are the adjustments that your body makes in response to the internal and external changes that take place. As you see the graph at the bottom, you'll see the level of normal resistance. When we're in the alarm stage, we're below that, and as the stressor occurs, our level of resistance rises, and then we kind of peak out, if you will, during our stage of resistance. And then when you see the exhaustion stage, what that means is that stressor's been around for so long and so high that we just can't fight the stressor anymore. The next slide is the fight or flight response. The fight or flight response has 3 stages of stress. The first stage is the alarm stage, where there's a threat or the stressor is identified. This is also known as the fight or flight stage. Typically, we see our adrenaline get pumping here, which is a hormone that's produced when we're in this fight or flight. The second stage of stress is resistance. If the stressor persists, it becomes necessary for some type of coping to take place. And the third stage of stress is the exhaustion stage, where all of the body's resources are just drained. They're depleted and they're unable to maintain normal function. Types of stress. Well, as you look at the top of this slide, you'll see there's eustress, which is good stress, and there's distress, which is bad stress. Some examples of eustress would be things like starting college. Even though it's really stressful and you might not know who your roommate's going to be or what classes you're going to take, all of the unknown, it's still a good type of stress. It's driving us to be better. Learning to drive. Think about back when you learned to drive a car, or if you're learning to drive a car now, how stressful that is to learn to parallel park and those kind of things. Going to the prom, making sure you have enough money. Do I have my flowers? Do I have the dinner reservations? The list goes on and on. Distress is bad stress. When you see distress, maybe problems with a boyfriend or girlfriend, drama with school or at work, with friends, maybe family problems, maybe you're wanting to fit in at school and not feeling like you're fitting in. Those are things that you experience distress with. If you look at the graph at the bottom, down here we have the level of stress. Here we have the performance. And we can see that when we're calm, our level of performance is increasing. When we're put under good stress, eustress, like starting college, learning to drive, our performance actually increases. However, when we're in distress, you'll see that our performance decreases. The next slide is a slide about the different parts of the body and mind and emotions and behavior that stress affects. If you take a look at this slide, for the body we see headaches, frequent infections, tight muscles, muscular twitches, fatigue, skin irritations, and breathlessness. Emotional symptoms of stress, loss of confidence, maybe more fussy or irritable, sometimes depression, apathy, which means you don't really have an opinion one way or the other, you don't really care one way or the other, alienation, as well as apprehension. Some behaviors we see when people are under stress, they're more accident prone, loss of appetite, loss of sex drive, maybe they drink more, insomnia where they can't sleep or they feel restlessness, or maybe they smoke more. And the last is the mind. Worrying, muddled thinking, impaired judgment, nightmares, indecisions, negativity, and hasty decisions. Some of the signs of stress: feeling angry or irritable or easily frustrated, feeling overwhelmed, change in eating habits, problems concentrating, feeling nervous or anxious, trouble sleeping, problems with your memory, feeling burned out from work, feeling that you can't overcome those difficulties that you have in your life, and having trouble functioning in your job or personal life. Most of the stress that most of us have is self-generated. We create most of our own distress. We really have more control than we think, but too often we don't use it. There is no silver bullet or quick fix for relieving stress. Although exercise and relaxation techniques come pretty close, to master stress, we actually have to change. So stress mastery is as much a mindset as it is a collection of tools and strategies. It's the knowledge and confidence that no matter what happens, you'll be able to handle it. One of the things that you're going to find is the older that you get, the greater the stressors become. Some of the benefits of management, stress management: your physical health gets better. You have more energy and stamina. Your emotions become more stabilized. You begin to develop a positive attitude, and you feel hopeful and happier. Also, your ability to focus improves. Then you're able to learn and to achieve better. Coping with stress. Controlling and reducing stress management is controlling and reducing the tension that occurs in stressful situations by making those emotional and physical changes. So some examples for physical: do something physical, be active, go out and go for a swim, go for a run, go for a walk, be active. Maybe relax on the other end of that. For mental, get your mind off the stressor. Play a video game, watch TV, read, listen to music are all good sources. Some types of stress management techniques. The first one is time management. The first two are probably great skills for you as you go off to college. If you can learn to manage your time and your tasks, break down what is it that I need to accomplish by when. Do little pieces at a time. How many of you are procrastinators out there? Put things off until the last minute, so then all of a sudden you have all this stuff to do, yet in reality You could have worked a little bit on it, as you went along. Time management. Breathing exercises. Think about, right before you go take that big test or you shoot the big free throw and your team's down by 1 point and you've got 2 free throws to take at the line in the basketball game. And you're going to take a deep breath. You're going to use some of those breathing exercises. Yoga is another great stress management technique. A technique that we're going to use in class and learn a little bit about is called progressive muscle relaxation, where slowly we learn to relax those muscles. Meditation, guided imagery, music therapy, and art therapy. Controlling stress. One of the things we try to do is to don't try to do too much. Don't overschedule yourself. Get enough sleep. Learn to relax. Exercise. Eat well. Solve the little problems right away. Don't procrastinate, and to keep a good attitude. Some helpful tips. First, changing your perceptions and expectations. Then you want to break jobs into manageable tasks. Set reasonable, realistic goals. Set boundaries. Don't compromise your values or beliefs. And schedule me time.